Talk Radio.
Well, it's a slightly sombre tone this evening as we look back on a year to the very day since the hideous Bowling Green Massacre. Your thoughts and memories, please. This is Talk Radio. Was a year ago to the day, almost to the very minute. It was 4 p.m. exactly on Wednesday, the 3rd of February 2016, when what we now refer to as the Bowling Green Massacre took place. A truly dark day in Kentuckian history, in American history, and in human history. A little bit about Bowling Green. It's a city in the Warren County region of Kentucky, the United States. It's the third most populous city in the state after Louisville and Lexington. And it was founded by pioneers in 1798. And exactly a year ago today, tragedy befell it. It is, of course, the Bowling Green Massacre. Controversial in that there, of course, have been several attempts to silence reports of that, but we are free to discuss these things and talk about these things as we want. Where were you when you heard what was going on in Bowling Green? And if you have any personal connections with that, 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Let's have a listen to what was being broadcast earlier on in the day during the Talk Radio news.
Talk Radio.
Today marks the 1-year anniversary of the Bowling Green Massacre, a tragedy forever etched on the heart of America. This afternoon, communities across the world joined together to pay silent tribute to those affected by the atrocity which shook the Kentucky city, population 63,500, a year ago today. Our reporter at the scene captured the shock of the survivors.
Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh yeah, yes sir, definitely. They're out there, man, and I'm flying in the plane. I'm always hallucinating, but who really knows what I'm looking at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The whole street was lined up with them cherry pickers and all them crew. I go like, hot dog, look at that, boy, look at that thing.
Oh, bro, it's just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them. And you just drop in and just smack the lip.
Just minding my own business. Damn! Hit me hard right from the back. I was glued to my seat. I was like, whoa! It was like a big rainbow. Boom! And it was coming up. Boom! Boom! And I was like, yeah!
And I was scared. I was finna eat a hamburger. It took it. And I don't even know where it's at.
I'm just sitting there on my iPod. It's just so frustrating. I want to be in Florida getting a tan on my back.
The it's hard to think, isn't it? We're very lucky in this country. There have, of course, been a few terrorist activities, but they are few and they are far between. And Yeah, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s when, a suspicious package was seen on the train or the underground. You would report it immediately to the authorities, and there was a strong chance it was connected with the IRA. But for a place like Bowling Green, where it is so small, for it to not only be part of a massacre, but to then become part of alternative facts, it's a real double whammy. And it's really interesting how far authority will go to stop people talking about what we know happened a year ago today. Earlier on today, we called up Bruce Wilkerson. He's the mayor of Bowling Green, and have a listen to this. It's very telling. This is what he had to say about the Bowling Green massacre. Hi, Bruce. My name's Iain Lee, calling from talkRADIO. I wondered if you had a few moments to talk about the tragic events of this time last year.
This time last year? I don't know what you're referring to.
I'm referring, of course, to the hideous events of the Bowling Green massacre. It is the first anniversary, isn't it?
There was no Bowling Green massacre.
Sorry?
There was no Bowling Green massacre.
That's from the mayor of Bowling Green, Mr. Bruce Wilkerson. Alternative facts. Mistruths. We don't know who to believe anymore, do we? Well, one person I always believe is Whoopi Goldberg.
Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. To be clear, the Bowling Green massacre actually happened. 2 Iraqi citizens who lived in Kentucky were arrested for a massacre. Okay, so let's be really clear about that. An Iraqi citizen has come to this country and done jack poo.
Mm-hmm. For a long time.
For many years.
That's Whoopi Goldberg speaking on American television.
So, all right.
Today, who are you going to believe? You going to believe the mayor of Bowling Green, or are you going to believe the star of Sister Act 2 and Burglar? I know who I'm going to believe. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, share your memories, where you were when you first heard that the situation was kicking off in Bowling Green, what your thoughts are. How can a society, a small town, rebuild itself after such tragedy? After such a huge event ripped it to its very core. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Tonight we take our hats off and we salute the survivors and, of course, the victims of the Bowling Green massacre.
Late night, Iain Lee on talkRADIO.
We have ways of making you talk.
Your memories of Bowling Green, please, 0344 499 1000. We'll be speaking to 2 lucky survivors just after past. It's one of those stories that the mainstream media, the MSM, well, they try and ignore. They try and cover up. You won't have heard much about the anniversary of the Bowling Green massacre on the BBC or on Sky. It will just be on small, independent, poorly listened to podcasts and here on talkRADIO, where we are the home of free speech. One person who has been bold enough, I would say, to defy her the media that she addresses, and also to defy her government, of course, is Kellyanne Conway. This was her speaking earlier on.
These are nations very narrowly prescribed and also temporary.
Sure.
I bet there was very little coverage. I bet it's brand new information to people that President Obama had a 6-month ban on the Iraqi refugee program after 2 Iraqis came here to this country, were radicalized, and they were the masterminds behind the Bowling Green massacre.
Well,
most people don't know that because it didn't get covered.
It didn't get covered. And that just goes to show you can't trust anybody when stories are being covered up, when alternative facts are being presented. You can't really trust anybody except for yourself. 0344 499 1000. Lane, good evening.
Mate, I hope this puts to bed those critics of Conway, because she's a beautiful person.
Yep.
And, you know, we've got, like, our local Bowling Green tomorrow, they've got a do on, and they're all having Kentucky Fried Chicken as a sort of mark of respect. And they're not using any balls because they resemble sort of comedy bombs.
The ones with the fizzing. Yeah.
And I think that's just like it's the sort of blitz spirit.
Yeah.
That we had in the war. That's coming out of the old folk who would go down there.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud to be British at the moment.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's things like that, and I have got Catherine has got a list, and I've left it out there of bowling greens up and down the country that will be paying respect in various different ways. Not all of them have gone as far as to ban the use of actual bowls, but point taken. And they will be.
They're actually employing kittens. They've gone to the local cat sanctuary.
Yep.
And they've got a white kitten.
Called Jack.
Yeah. And a few black kittens.
Yep.
That they want to roll.
Kittens of colour now, but yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, not everywhere is lucky. Not every area, Lane, is lucky enough to have a Kentucky Fried Chicken near them. Some of them, of course, are using Dixie Fried Chicken or Alabama Fried Chicken.
Or you know what?
Dixie Cottage.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, and, it is. It really is. How has it affected you, Lane? How does it affect your day-to-day behaviour?
Well, I think for about a year, every time I've walked past the bowling green, I wept, really, and I've sometimes just an inner sort of sigh or whatever, but if I've been on my own, I just can't hold back. But now that Kellyanne's come out with this, I think I'll be able to...
Lane, can I read you a tweet that we've just had in? And this is, when I said we were going to do this is typical of the alt-right on Twitter. Let me read you this. This is from Mick. Mick says, don't believe the MSM. They were all paid actors. There was no Bowling Green Massacre.
Well, Alex Jones from InfoWars, he's been bleating on about this for about, 8 months. But I say bleating, he just shouts a lot.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's an excellent impression.
But, and he's always on the money.
Yeah. Lane, listen.
He knows the score.
Lane, thank you very much indeed. We'll try and get a list of those bowling greens that will be eating fried chicken tomorrow as a mark of respect. 03444991000 if anything is happening at your local bowling green or indeed your Kentucky Fried Chicken. So we'll be speaking to two survivors of the massacre just after 10:30. Let's go to Paul. Evening, Paul.
How's it going, Ian? Have I got your name right? It is Ian.
That's right, Paul, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to say that Bruce Wilkinson was it? He's got blood on his hands. I was there. I took 2 balls on the chin, knocked my ass out. I can only give you a partial account of the events, obviously, because I was unconscious for 3 to 4 hours. But I swear to you now, hand on the Bible, 2 balls on the chin, knocked my ass out.
Knocked your ass out, did it?
Figuratively speaking, yes.
Yeah.
So I just dropped the accent. I'm no good at it.
Mate, no, go away. We're not. For God's sakes, this is the problem. When you are a lone wolf, a lone voice in the wilderness, you get trolls like that trying to sabotage things. It's a very serious thing that we are talking about. Kellyanne Conway, of course, one of the few people in authority to speak out. I've seen some rather unpleasant GIFs of her today, making out that she's one of the skeleton aliens from the movie They Live. Which is unfair. I think that's a particularly unpleasant thing to do. Didn't know a lot about Kellyanne Conway until recently. She's 50 years old. And she endorsed Ted Cruz and was rather rude about Donald Trump until he offered her a job. And then sensibly, she took it and is now the political... she's the counsellor to President Donald Trump. 03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Let's go to the US of America. And Dave.
Hello there, sir.
Hey, Dave. Give us your memories on Bowling Green.
You know, you brought it all back to me. You really brought it back to me. I was driving down I-55 at the time, and I just had to pull my car over and pull over to the side. I was so amazed by what was happening.
Mm.
I was so
I don't know.
Back again.
Yeah, I don't know that area that well. I-55, is that anywhere near Bowling Green?
No, it's a bit further. It's a bit further up in the up in the Illinois area.
Chicago, Illinois.
Kentucky is to the south of Illinois. It's southern, very south Illinois. Just touches on to. I have friends in that area.
Have you spent time in this country, Dave? Because I'm kind of getting a vague West Country accent along with your Native American accent.
No, sir. No, sir. I've never been in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
I'd love to visit there one day.
Okay, well, you'd be very, very welcome. And that's the thing about America. When something like this happens, and of course it's these atrocities until the Muslim ban was in place were happening on a daily basis. It really does. America bleeds, doesn't it?
I did. I had to, as I said, I had to stop the car. And I had to go back home and hug my family and make sure they were all fine. It was just so terrible.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it, that it doesn't get talked about anymore, Dave? It's that the mainstream media does its best to cover up these daily acts of terrorism, like the Bowling Green massacre. What are your thoughts on that?
We just seem to get one massacre after another. I mean, we have shootouts at the malls almost daily on a daily basis. So it's very easy to forget that one massacre a year later. As I say, your radio station brought it all back.
Yeah. Hopefully, stopping Muslims coming in will stop massacres like this happening again.
Well, we can only pray so, sir. We can only pray so.
Okay, well, that's great, Dave. Thank you very much indeed. 03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Don't worry, we won't be talking about this all evening. We'll be having a little bit of fun later on. I just kind of thought that with that with it being a year and with it being such uncertain times as to who we can trust, what news outlets can we trust? I certainly don't trust the left-wing bias BBC. Don't trust Sky. Trust none of the printed newspapers. I get all of my information, of course, from websites and documentaries that I find on YouTube. And it really is. People, the governments and MSM really can try and suppress information, but with outlets like YouTube, with outlets like Twitter or Bebo or MySpace, there is only so much suppression they can do. The facts will out. And I say this to all the leaders around the world. The facts will out. You cannot suppress this kind of stuff for too long. 03444991000. Let's go to Alan. Good evening, Alan.
Good evening, Ian.
Alan, what are your memories of Bowling Green?
Well, I want to quote Alex Booker, who on the last leg tonight...
Alex who, sorry?
Alex Booker.
Okay, yep.
He said, quote, Are there so few shootings in America that they're having to make them up? That's what he said on the last leg tonight.
Well, that's a bit poor taste, isn't it? I don't like
That's
that
what he said
programme.
tonight on the last leg.
I don't like that programme. I think it mocks the disabled.
And this is what it said according to Wikipedia, because there's a Wikipedia page about it.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
What does it say on Wikipedia about it?
The Bowling Green Massacre is a fictitious incident referred to by the Council of the President, Kellyanne Conway.
Here's the thing, Alan. Wikipedia is edited by people like you.
I mean, anyone can make a
Anyone can make a Wikipedia page, and I bet if you trace the IP address of that, it goes back to either Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama.
According to this, it was made. Hang on, I'm just loading up the old.
Yes, let's. Okay, let's.
According to it was made at 3:48 a.m. today.
Yeah.
By Izzy Balico.
Izzy Balico?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Alan. You stay there and listen to this. This is a news report that talkRADIO were playing out earlier on today, and you tell me if this is made up.
Talk Radio.
Today marks the 1-year anniversary of the Bowling Green Massacre, a tragedy forever etched on the heart of America. This afternoon, communities across the world joined together to pay silent tribute to those affected by the atrocity which shook the Kentucky city, population 63,500, a year ago today. Our reporter at the scene captured the shock of the survivors.
Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh yeah, yes sir, definitely. They're out there, man, and I'm flying in the plane. I'm always hallucinating, but who really knows what I'm looking at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The whole street was lined up with them cherry pickers and all them crew. I go like, hot dog, look at that, boy, look at that thing.
Oh, bro, it's just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them. And you just drop in and just smack the lip.
Just minding my own business. Damn! Hit me hard right from the back. I was glued to my seat. I was like, whoa! It was like a big rainbow. Boom! And it was coming up. Boom! Boom! And I was like, shoot!
And I was scared. I was finna eat a hamburger. It took it. And I don't even know where it's at.
I'm just sitting there on my iPod. It's just so frustrating. I want to be in Florida getting a tan on my back.
Are those people making it up, Alan?
Well, we were talking about the arrest of Iraqi nationals in 2011, because I think the Bowling Green Massacre never happened. It's been a scaremongering bothered to enforce his immigration policy.
Mate, we're going to speak to someone in a minute who survived the Bowling Green Massacre. You've spent too much time reading the mainstream media. You need to get on the internet more, Alan.
Right.
People like you are actually quite offensive.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Alan. 0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee. Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. To be clear, the Bowling Green Massacre actually happened. 2 Iraqi citizens who lived in Kentucky were arrested for a massacre. Okay, so let's be really clear about that. An Iraqi citizen has come to this country and done jack poo.
For a long time.
For many years.
Jack poo is American slang for terrorist atrocity. We're not going to talk about this all night. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. We're getting a lot of people saying, why are you banging on about this? It was a year ago. It was a tiny town in America. Get over it. You get over it. Yeah? You get over it. We're not going to dwell on it all night. I just think it's really, really important that we talk about this and that we address this, because we are living in an age, dear listener, where I don't know who to trust. Do I trust Hugh Edwards? Probably not. Do I trust Jon Snow? I doubt it. Do I trust the politicians? Not really. Who do we trust? The newspapers? Nah. TV news? Don't think so. Radio 4? Get lost! So we're asking a lot of big questions this evening about alternative facts, fake news, and who can we believe? Well, we can believe that an incident happened a year ago in Bowling Green in Kentucky, and we can talk about that because we've got one of the survivors. We've got Herb Schatz on the line. Evening, Herb, or good afternoon, Herb.
I'll tell you right, good afternoon. I'll tell you right now, I can't believe what I've heard here tonight. Okay, I'll tell you right, I can't wait till your prime minister comes and shuts y'all down, okay?
What's upset you, Herb, this evening?
It's all a conspiracy. Y'all making it up.
Making what up?
All this stuff, everything I heard so far tonight, you need to get it straight, because that is not what happened in Bowling Green.
Tell us, you live in Bowling Green, don't you, Herb? You've lived there for 73 years. Why don't you tell us what you saw and what you experienced a year ago today?
Okay, well, me and my buddy Jed, we're part of the Kentucky Brethren. We're the bowling. We bowl.
Yep.
Like the outdoors bowl. Now, 1 year ago, we went to go bowling, and I don't know if this happens in your country, but it's like one day a year when all the ants come out. And
we have Flying Ant Day, yeah.
You have that? You have the Flying Ant Day?
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, we were bowling, and it was a tournament, and but it was Flying Ant Day. So Jed jacked off.
Sorry?
He jacked off. He threw the jack ball.
Is that the technical term?
He jacked off.
Yep.
And then it was like my turn to bowl, and the flying ants was everywhere.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, it was just all crushed under my balls, and I would spend the whole afternoon just wiping ant juice off of my balls. And we were just, hello?
I'm listening, Herb, yep.
We were just holding each other, just like crying, and there ain't no shame in grown men crying together. And if one thing leads to another, well, so be it. But I know what I saw.
And you're sure that these were flying ants, and these weren't? This wasn't shrapnel or nails or anything like that from an explosive device.
There were some fellas, and no, there was a very strong smell in the town that day. You know when you're boiling pig's trotters?
I don't know that, no.
Because we pickle them.
Wow.
You never seen that?
No, I've not. Is that for your
like
dogs?
That. It's kind of a sweet smell, but a sour smell.
Yep, sweet and sour smell, yeah.
And that, to me, that's the smell of terror.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
the mood been like? How has the town rebuilt itself?
No, it hadn't rebuilt itself.
No.
It ain't never going to be the same again. I tell you, this whole country, there's one man who's going to make that right, and that's Donny Osmond.
Oh.
I mean, Donald Trump.
Yep. Yes, Donald Trump, the president.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. He gonna fix it all up because he understands what this country needs.
It needs less Muslims.
It needs fewer yeah.
Fewer or less, yeah. The people got it. Less Muslims, hence the Muslim ban. Do you think that that's going to work? It's caused a lot of controversy, Herb.
Well, it's like this. You see, like, you can use a hand, you can use a finger to pull a trigger or to make love. You understand? It's the same tool. Now, you have to make a decision, like, maybe we should just get rid of all the fingers.
Yep.
And then no one can pull any triggers, but then no one can make love. Now, it's the same when you take the Muslim people.
You want to remove the fingers from Muslims?
I'm saying Muslims like fingers. You understand? They're not good, they're not bad. They just are. But
It's how we use them.
Too many fingers, then you're going to have a lot of pain.
Herb, really inspiring.
Yeah.
Really inspiring.
Thank you.
Talking to you this
Very much.
evening, Herb.
Well, God bless you, sir, and I hope that you can find a way to true enlightenment and pursue a path of honesty and emotional solidarity.
Thank you very much for your time, Herb. That's Herb Schatz there, one of the survivors of the Bowling Green Massacre. I think we can go to second one now. It's a gentleman called Nick Wyatt. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening, sir.
Nick, why don't you tell us your memories of exactly 365 days ago?
Well, it's an interesting story. I got to say, I mean, I was working at the Bowling Green at the time. I'm a nurse, and we were called out to this old guy. I can't remember his name. Is Harry or something. He was just outside on the green, just kind of curled up in a ball, like just kind of rubbing his balls.
Was this Herb?
Herbert, yes, that was it. That was
Get
the guy.
Herb back, because we were just speaking to Herb.
Oh God, really? Wow, what a blast from the past, so to speak.
Wow.
Well, yeah. So he was kind of laying out there on the green, just rubbing his balls, just nonstop.
Yep.
And we pulled him back inside, and he was going on about some kind of an ant massacre or something.
Ant day.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. And it's like kind of one word spread to the other. Someone heard massacre. Blah blah blah. I think they call it a.
Oh, sorry. Hang on a second, Nick. We just lost you there for a second. Carry on, Nick. Sorry, it's not a great line here between here in the States. Go on.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying that he was going on about this massacre. One person caught wind, and then it kind of Chinese whispered its way. Because I'm not actually from Kentucky. I'm from New York. I just kind of came here to get away from it all. I don't really look at the news or anything, but apparently the town's kind of got a load of attention recently because this story kind of spun out of control, huh?
Can I ask, Nick, have you spoken to Herb Schatz since the Bowling Green Massacre?
God, no.
Wow,
No,
this
no.
is. I feel like Cilla Black. You don't know who she is. She's dead now. But I feel. Well, here we. Surprise, surprise. Nick, say hello to Herb Schatz.
Herb.
Yes, sir.
Herb, this is Nick, the young attendant at the Bowling Green who helped wipe your balls down.
Nick, no, come on.
Hello,
Nick,
Herb. How are you doing?
Is that you?
It's me, sir. How are you doing?
Oh my good God! I'll be honest with you, son. I don't remember your face.
Oh,
but I remember the tender care in your hands. It was a very emotional day for me.
It was a very emotional day.
I remember the way you held my balls and you pushed them back till they could.
This is this is a very
emotional time for all
Excuse me, sir. It's very easy for you to be.
No.
You weren't there, and you don't know what it was like, and you didn't see what we saw.
I'm imagining in great detail, but no, I'm just saying, Herb. Sorry, I'm just saying that this is a very powerful. I feel like I'm eavesdropping on a piece of history.
Well, I hope it stays history. That's all.
Okay. Well, guys,
Nick,
Herb.
God bless you. God bless you, Nick.
Herb.
Oh, thank you.
You did.
Yeah, Herb. Would you like us to pass your details on to Nick, so maybe you can talk afterwards?
He can hit me up on Grindr.
Okie dokie. Thank you very much, Herb Schatz and Nick Wyatt there. 0344 499 1000. Late nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Stephen.
Oh, hi. Sorry if I sound a bit subdued compared to how I'd normally sound. I normally sound a bit more lively, but I mean, it's more appropriate to people take this a bit more seriously, obviously.
The subdued voice is more appropriate when we're commemorating, and I nearly said celebrating, my bad, when we're commemorating the anniversary of a massacre such as the Bowling Green Massacre. What are your memories of it, Stephen? And also your thoughts on the mainstream media trying to keep it covered up?
Well, that's right. I mean, it was about 10 p.m. our time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Talk Radio hadn't restarted, and I was about to listen to the Sports Bar on Talk Sport, you know, Cundy and Andy Goldstein.
Yes.
And someone sent me a text informing me of this, and I was so shocked. Well, this will make me sound quite petty, actually, but I dropped a mug of tea, and it sticks in my mind because I'd won that mug on an LBC competition.
Oh, no!
And it shattered, you see.
Was it a Steve Allen mug?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no, mate, I'm sorry, that's terrible.
So, and then, you know, so it sticks in my mind for that reason. I thought, well, I can hardly write to them and say, can I have another one, you know?
Yeah.
Have a replacement gift, you know. And then, fortunately for me, the tea was tepid, you know, and it wasn't hot, and I spilled it down my jeans.
Yeah.
So it looked like I wet myself.
Oh, flipping
Instantly had them cleaned, and I thought, oh, here we go, cleaning. And I just had them washed. And
The massacre in your pants, it looked like.
Well,
that's probably inappropriate, actually. I'll take that back immediately, sorry.
Yeah, a little bit tasteless, yeah. I mean, it's, so it sticks in my mind. I've still got my petty reasons for remembering it.
Yeah.
Because it ties, you know, because I remember the mug, and not that I'm not too sentimental about the mug, but a bit. You know what it's like. You'll give it a gift.
When you win something like that, it can be a real special. I mean, it's a small thing, and we've got thousands of Talk Sport and Talk Radio. Well, thousands of Talk Sport and tens of Talk Radio mugs here. But to civilians, to people like you know, the little people, that kind of stuff is important, isn't it?
Especially with Steve's name on it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, well, you know. But you see the mainstream media, well, yes, you see, it's strange. It wasn't mentioned on Talk Sport at the top of the hour news. As I say, you know, it was Cundy and Goldstein about to come on.
Yeah, fine.
And I was informed by text from a friend who was in touch with my cousin who lives in the USA, you know, on the West Coast.
Right, yeah.
So, that, you see. And, you know, I was just startled, and hence I dropped my mug, you know. And so, you know, I think you're right. The mainstream cannot be trusted on this, and you have to rely on your private means, your private contacts, you know, like word of mouth. You know, my cousin contacting a friend who texts me at the same time as I'm about to listen to the news on Talk Sport, then, you know, and who do I believe? I mean, I'm more likely to believe my text, aren't I?
Yeah.
Than listen
Yeah.
to the news, obviously.
Stephen, can I ask you, it is a year to the day, and we did consider kind of doing a live Twitter feed recreating exactly what happened, but there's so much of it shrouded in mystery. But a year later on, Stephen, almost to the very, very minute, have you got yourself a new mug?
Yeah, I have, but I've got a couple more mugs, but they're not designer mugs, like, you know, I mean, I've got a couple of white ones, a couple of blue ones, but nothing with logos, you know. So I mean, I think I missed the mug, to be honest. I mean, I've been into Talk Radio because I met you, you know, once.
Yep.
Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
I was on the James Wales show,
yes.
And it did cross my mind while I was in the kitchen to see if I could purloin one of the Talk Radio ones, but I couldn't see any, you see.
No.
I mean, I couldn't see any Talk Radio mugs, and all I could find were chipped ones that Ash had used, which I didn't particularly fancy.
Well, you could get a contact high and probably a sexually transmitted disease off of a mug that Ash has used. Stephen, I appreciate your time and your memories, and it shows that these things happen, you know, in a small town in the middle of nowhere. We've never heard of it before. And yet the shockwaves are felt all over the world. Stephen there lost a treasured Steve Allen mug. Just goes to show.